Look at this, not being who you could be. That's the real problem. Because even when no one is watching, you are. And deep down, you know exactly what you are doing. Welcome, friends. My name is Fred. Here we talk about business, investments, training, and real life. Always from a personal and honest perspective. And today, we're talking about a hard truth. A truth many people take years, sometimes decades, to accept. When no one is watching, something interesting happens. You see yourself doing things you know you shouldn't do. Small things. Taking something that isn't yours. Telling a small lie. Cutting a corner. Justifying a behavior you know is wrong. And then comes the internal negotiation. You say, it's fine. No one will know. I'm smart. I can get away with it. I know what I'm doing. But life doesn't work like that. There's an internal math, and that math always balances. If you act without integrity, something breaks inside you. You lose the ability to look people in the eye, speak with authority, stand firmly in your decisions. This affects your posture, your courage, your assertiveness. Not because the world punishes you, but because you know. Integrity is not about being seen as a good person. It's about being able to stand upright when no one is watching. That's the difference. There is an unconscious system inside you that keeps track of everything, and it never forgets. Lal, let me be very clear. This is not about being perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone fails. The difference is not the mistake. The difference is, do you own it or do you rationalize it? Take relationships, for example. Long relationships involve conflict, arguments, bad decisions on both sides. At the end, you have two options. You can say, it was all the other person's fault. They did this, they did that. Or you can say, I made mistakes too, and I will fully own mine. Here's the key. Deep inside, you already knows exactly what you did. And it will come back in how you act, in how you speak, and how much confidence you have. When you avoid responsibility, you weaken yourself because the unconscious doesn't let it slide. It collects the debt and later it charges interest. So, when someone confronts you in the future, if you were dishonest back then, you won't have the structure to stand firm. But if you own your mistakes, you'll be able to say, I was there, I know exactly what happened, and this has nothing to do with me. That's strength. Small lies, harmless shortcuts, value betrayals. And I'm not talking only about romantic betrayal. I'm talking about betraying yourself, doing what you know is wrong, and justifying it. That's where the real damage happens. The problem is not the mistake. The problem is teaching yourself that it's okay to make mistakes and never take responsibility. The moment you own your mistake, you begin to reclaim your dignity. Slowly, piece by piece, And if you continue acting with integrity from that point forward, one day the mistake will no longer exist, except as a memory. The strength you need to face life comes from the integrity you build when no one is watching. That's the foundation. You will make mistakes, with people watching or not. The real question is, how do you deal with them? Some people say, this has nothing to do with masculinity. I disagree. Masculinity is about carrying weight, responsibility, burden. That requires more strength, owning your mistakes, or running away and pretending nothing is your fault. That's the question. The hard truth is this: life always collects the bill, and deep down, you always know what you did. This isn't about perfection, it's about not betraying yourself. And if you do, because you are human, the dignified posture is to own it. That's how dignity is built. Now, I want to hear from you. What hard truth did you take years to accept in your life? Share in the comments. That was mine. Thank you for being here, and I see you in the next video.